Hey, it's Chris Jenkins with Charlotte Vibe. Hopefully this is going to be within 3 minutes. I think that's what I'm trying to do for all my game day recaps. I'm also only going to do it in one take. You know why? Because that's just what I want to do. So yesterday, New Orleans Saints whooped up on the Carolina Panthers. I didn't write it down. Final score, I believe, was like 34-13. And some more thoughts in addition to the video that me and Devin did yesterday was just, I didn't talk that much about the defense yesterday not doing a good job. And you look at what happened yesterday, it was like the perfect storm to make people get really deflated by this team, right? You got the defense, which is normally so good, so great, and having a lot of breakdowns. I remember looking at a few notes now as I was watching the game yesterday, seeing plays where Thomas Davis didn't do a Thomas Davis type play, and you're thinking, I'm always that good guy, kind of hesitant to say something about our superstars, but Thomas Davis didn't have his kind of game yesterday. Luke Kuechly not so much stood out in terms of not having his normal game yesterday, but he missed an interception that, if they had won, some of these things you don't think about so much, but, Luke Kuechly not getting the interception, that was a bad thing. Also, my man James Bradbury, just had this guy right here last week, but true journalism, I got to say, he had some mistakes yesterday, certainly on that Ted Ginn play, something that you feel like, of all people, you should know that Ted's going to go deep, and James got beat with Ted going deep. So lots of different things that took place on that defense yesterday where I don't feel like that's going to be something that we have to worry about happening again, 16 weeks, 16 games long season. So again, just a little bit of a perfect storm yesterday. And to talk about the offensive side, this morning on Twitter, people were asking me about Cam Newton. What's really wrong and just how much should we be concerned about good old Cameron Newton? So I remember early in the season, I don't know what I was watching or reading, and it talked about guys just not having a good year after having a surgery like that. And it seems like that's where Cam is headed to, right? Not practicing that much during the week. He's a guy that hasn't been the most accurate passer all of his career. And yesterday, I'm not like a really deep analytical reporter. You got to go to like Joe Person or somebody like that. There's much more talk about reads and different things like that. But just watching the game from my perspective, I saw like a lot of the stop routes or comeback routes that Cam was doing and throwing yesterday. The timing on those just looked bad on so many of those. And I don't know, is it lack of repetition? Who knows? But a lot of that looked bad for him yesterday. On that interception, I'm not sure if it was returned for a touchdown or not, but it was one that I just remember looking at from the press box. I kind of blanked out after what happened. But you just saw the Saints player just cutting in on that comeback route well before Cam released the ball, and it clearly stepped in front of him and picked it off and got it. So where to go with Cam, I don't know where to go with him. I can only promise to continue to report to you guys. Let me see if I got a few other things on here to talk about with you guys. Going for the field goal. Let's see, that was in the third quarter. He went for the field goal. And I don't see it in my notes here, but I didn't like that going for that punt instead of giving Graham the field goal attempt. I mean, one thing has been known for Graham is that he has a strong leg, can kick it from pretty deep. So unless you want to say, well, maybe he's trying to protect Graham's confidence by not having him go for that, I don't get that. Rivera said later on that he was not wanting to give the Saints momentum, but he needed it at that point. I feel like one thing that you should know as a coach is your coordinator and how he calls games, and whether you think that he should be on or off the team, you should know that he does not make adjustments well. And in the past, when this team has been explosive, it's still always kicked on by the defense making a big play, and you didn't have that happen yesterday. It didn't even look like that was going to happen. You're just going to hope that the defense holds on. So why not go for that field goal, right? It's my thoughts. And again, just to round up everything from the day is talking about the play of some of the rookies. I did like what Shula was doing with McCaffrey and splitting those carries up with Stewart, in a sense of Stewart got 75% easily of the runs, and McCaffrey got the other quarter, and they went to use McCaffrey in a much more dynamic way. I like that. I hope we continue to build on that. And Curtis Samuels, I still didn't go and get my stats, but I like what happened with Curtis Samuel yesterday with his play on special teams. I believe he was targeted only twice, but he caught both of those balls, and then he had a pretty good play out of the backfield. So I feel like with those two guys in particular, there's some good to come up there, and we'll just continue to see. I went over my 3 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up because mostly I like to focus on responding directly to you guys. So I always invite you to leave your comments below. Hit me up on any of the social media accounts. Everything that we have is at Charlotte Vibe. Currently, I'm not scheduled to travel to the game this week against the New England Patriots, but we have a GoFundMe page that's set up. I don't know if you guys have checked it out, but we're an independent media outlet. Love to cover the Panthers, and we'd love to have some of your support or share our GoFundMe page with people in case you may know someone that can support. It's Chris Jenkins reporting for Charlotte Vibe.